What's going on, guys? This is Fumble the Bag. I'm your host today, Max Pollard, and I'm here with Arvin Mohammadi, Kyle Kawamoto, and Joshua Suicide. And today, it's our Thanksgiving special, and what better way to start off Thanksgiving and a sports podcast with some football? Let's talk about tomorrow's games. So, we start off with the Commanders. Oh, sorry, that's Commanders Cowboys later on, but the first game is going to be Packers and Lions. So, a divisional rivalry. What do you guys think? What do you guys think of tomorrow's game for that, like the early morning? So
Hey man, I'm a Packers fan, so the Packers have to pull through for the game tomorrow, okay? That's going to set up the weekend for me right then and there.
fair, fair, fair.
And plus the Lions have a tendency of kind of losing on Thanksgiving, if my memory serves correctly. So the
True. I mean,
Packers
they,
got to
they have
pull
a
through.
historically they have a tendency to just lose, but they've been
I
pretty good as
know.
of lately. So you never, and the Packers have been looking not like they could. They're looking okay, like but I
Hey,
don't
hey,
know. Who
hey,
knows?
hey, they still have time to turn around, okay? Don't
Oh, I
disrespect the
mean,
Packers like
how many wins? What's their record right now?
They're 4 and
the
6.
Packers.
I mean, yeah, they have time to turn it around. They can only pretty much afford to lose two more games if they want to go over 500. So,
That's true. But last week's game against the Chargers, I think that was Jordan Love's best game so far. I'll be honest with you.
well, how many passing yards? I didn't really check his stat line. I was more focused on Herbert's because of fantasy, but
Let me
Oh
see.
man,
Let me see. Jordan Love threw for 322 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks.
that's pretty good.
yeah.
That's a solid stat. What was his passer rating?
I don't even know. Does it
Should
sound
say
does
on
it sound good?
ESPN, but I'm guessing it's somewhere in the mid hundreds, like a good one.
Yeah,
That's
probably.
that's got to be like 130 plus passer rating.
Like his
But
passing rating for that game was 108.5
Yeah.
rating.
that's pretty good. That's pretty decent. I mean, I kind of highballed it, but that's still pretty good. Anything above 100 is, in my opinion, pretty good. And obviously, it's not like it's 153.8, which is perfect passing yard. Which,
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, I personally kind of think the Lions could win, but honestly, I kind of want the Packers to win because I think it'd be really funny if, no matter what, they just lose on Thanksgiving. Like, no matter how good the Lions get, they'll always be bad on Thanksgiving. And that would
Yeah.
that would
For
be
sure.
very, very funny. I remember last year on Thanksgiving they played the Bills and they almost beat the Bills, but the Bills had like a really good like last drive that they won. I was so happy. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah,
I
Kind
need
of sounds
Christian
like divine
Watson.
intervention.
guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, true. I just need Sam Laporta to have a good game. Everything. I
I
don't
need
care about
Christian
anything
Watson.
else.
I need Christian Watson to have a good game. I hope.
Yeah, yeah, fair
I need
enough.
Jordan Love to have a good game too.
I have Jordan Love in another league starting as well, so I need him to do
Are you
well.
are you starting Jordan Love this week in fantasy, or just for the sake of like you as a fan of the
No,
Packers?
gosh, no.
Yeah.
Right now I have Baker Mayfield in, but I'm really heavily contemplating putting Jordan Love in, and I need him to do well as a fan.
True, but Baker's only they're playing the Colts. Like I think he might have just from like statistically, he might have a better chance there. So I would say
That's
play
true.
him. I don't know. I
So it's
mean,
like,
yeah, it'll probably be a pretty good game. I'll,
I mean, the quarterback situation in my fantasy team is not it's not the best. I'll be honest with you.
true, you had it both.
So,
Yeah, both your starting quarterbacks that you draft or quarterbacks you drafted had season-ending injuries, like Aaron
yeah,
Rodgers and Anthony Richardson. Like,
I know, but
man,
luckily I did get Jordan Love off the wire because I think he was the last decent quarterback pick to get off the wire
off of
before
waivers, yeah.
everything.
Now it's there's some stinkers on there, dude. There's some really bad people off waivers right now. I think
Tim
Zach
Boyle.
Wilson's out. The third string.
Tim
Obviously, I think Tim
Boyle.
Boyle is going to be up there. Yeah, Tim Boyle. I don't know how he's made it to the NFL, dude. I don't know how he was in the NFL, dude. He is so bad. Look at his he's literally in his NFL career. He has more interceptions than touchdowns. How does he have a starting job? I actually already know the answer to that. It's because him and Aaron Rodgers are friends.
You rather have
Yeah.
you rather have Zach Wilson more than Tim Boyle?
Yes, Zach Wilson
Yeah.
could maybe win you a game. Zach Wilson has at least had one or two decent games this year. Tim Boyle has never ever had a good game. Like I remember he started a couple games for the Lions a couple years ago and he was atrocious because I think Jared Goff was hurt or something like that. But it was bad. I mean, yeah, I would definitely take. Not like I would want to take Zach Wilson over anybody, but if I had to pick two, at least Zach Wilson, can maybe be okay for a game if you really need him to against like kind of like a struggling defense. Though he did play well against the Chiefs, who have a top defense. So who knows?
I think he should go to the Steelers, Zach Wilson.
I remember I think we were talking about this, and I said,
Yeah.
no, we shouldn't. You
Well,
should go to the XFL. And you were like, why? And I'm like, he's a bum.
I mean, like, the Jets O line is really bad. Like, I was watching the game a little bit. Their O line is terrible. Like, I feel like
Joke.
with the Steelers, they have Deontay, they have Pickens, Zach Wilson, plus Mike Tomlin as the coach. Why not? See what
Yeah, and
happens.
true. Now that, I mean, you never know how the Steelers could be now that Matt Canada's fired.
Yeah.
It could be pretty good. So, could be better. I think it'll for sure be better.
I don't know. I feel like
But,
it's. Do you
yeah.
think is he more of a guy? It's kind of like he needs to lead the team. Like he's kind of like a James Harden, where he wants to have the ball in his hand pretty much the most of the entire time.
Zach Wilson?
Yeah.
No, because he's on the balls. I mean, he's a quarterback, so the ball is in his hand most of the time. If that were the case, they would run it more, and I feel like they would at least be doing better. Because Brees Hall is a great running back. So I think it should just not be in his hands. And the problem is, at least with basketball, they're not good as a main guy. You can be a decent role player. Quarterback, you cannot be a good role player unless you're like a run heavy offense, and that's kind of like a dead off. Like the last team to do that was the Titans, and they're kind of slowing down because Derrick Henry's aging, and they're just that offense doesn't really work anymore. So I don't know. I wouldn't say so. I would say I'm trying to think of like a decent basketball. I kind of want to say he's kind of like Ben Simmons, except he was like Ben Simmons at least had some years where he was decent. This guy was never good.
Okay. I'm just trying to catch more on the football knowledge, like how you guys are so knowledgeable and stuff.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
mean, honestly, you want to know a good way to kind of learn is like go to fantasy league. I know that sounds like random, but
Yeah,
that's how I
true.
learned a lot about football is by joining fantasy football and learning who the players were there. And typically, most times, if a player consistently does good in fantasy, they're a pretty good player like in real life. So you can kind of grow. Obviously, that's not always the case. Because a quarterback or a player can just put up a good amount of like yards. Like a running back can put up a ton of yards, or he can get a bunch of goal line carries and get easy touchdowns, and then he'll look a lot better than he really is. But yeah,
Like I haven't been keeping up
but
since
One thing I
last
want
time
to
I was keeping up with stuff was when Madden '09 was out or Madden 10. Basically,
Mm.
that long ago,
oh damn,
I was actually
the NFL is such a
consistent.
different place.
Well, sorry, go
One
ahead.
thing
Fair
I want to
enough.
talk about is Monday nights. Oh yeah, one thing I want to talk about is Monday night's game versus the Eagles. That game
That
was pretty high.
that
I'm
was
not gonna lie.
that was kind of
Oh,
disappointing, dude.
really?
I mean,
Did you want to
there
the
were parts
Chiefs
of it
win?
entertaining. It's just like I expect when teams like that go head to head. Like I don't know, maybe call me spoiled because I feel like we've had in the last few years we've been spoiled with pretty crazy games. It's not really this year where it's the battle of two elite quarterbacks, two elite teams. The rematch of the Super Bowl, and both them like Jalen Hurts has not been playing that good all year. I don't know how he's the MVP front runner. It's not like he's been playing bad. It's just it seems like he's kind of playing and he's like circumstantially getting a lot of like any sort of like stats. Like he has the same type of stat line. Like his stats are almost identical like Jordan Love, except he's getting a lot of praise because the rest of his team around him has been doing pretty well. But also they've been getting so many ugly wins. Like I don't know. I'm
Yeah,
not buying into the hype with the
yeah, man.
Eagles.
MVS should have caught that pass. Like that was a perfect throw.
Yeah, and with
That was
Mahomes, I'm
a
not gonna. Yeah, speaking of that, with Mahomes, I'm not gonna blame him for his
no.
receivers just being this bad. Dude, this is not. It's not his fault.
I think Tyreek Hill. I think they should have paid Tyreek Hill. Like
Tyreek Hill wanted to stay. I don't know if you
he
saw an
wanted to
interview.
stay.
Tyreek
Yeah.
Oh,
Hill
really?
wanted to stay in Kansas City. Yes, it's his
I
agent pushed a trade to negotiate for more money, and the Kansas City just bought it, and we're like, okay, we'll trade him then. And then they traded him they were going to trade him to the Jets, and then the Jets said no, or he said, or something. The Dolphins had a better offer or something like that, and then he went to the Dolphins, which honestly worked out
Yeah.
better because the Dolphins are with
That's
Tyreek Hill, they are an insanely good team. He has a case to be MVP. He's been that impactful to his team.
but like
That's
with
true.
that, like wide receivers don't get MVP. It's always quarterbacks, and I kind of hope that changes because like
Yeah.
other
No
positions do
quarterback
good.
has really the only quarterback that I've seen that has deserved the MVP is TJ Stroud. That's it.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
I don't know,
I
man. I
would
think Aaron Rodgers deserves MVP again.
So
yeah, his four
my
plays.
Yeah. It's kind of it was life changing.
I think if the Bills fired Ken Dorsey earlier, Josh Allen would be a candidate, but he's not, only because those games really just messed up his pace. Because I think, and the fact they potentially screwed up their pace to go to the playoffs because they have scheduled it so hard now for the rest of the year. Like if they had gone a bunch of early easy wins, then they could afford to lose a game towards the end, like against the Chiefs, against the Eagles next week, the Cowboys, Chargers, all that stuff. So it's
The
disappointing.
Eagles will be very tough. That's gonna be a tough game.
That's going to be a tough game, and they're at Lincoln Financial Field. I mean, I'm still going to have hope because when they play well, they play really well. But at the same time, you never know. I think they definitely have a chance to win against this Eagles team. Last year's Eagles team, no way. But this year's, maybe. You never know.
Unless
think
they
the Bills still have it in them, make it playoffs.
I think so, dude. I mean, like, I think they can at least make the playoffs only because they looked so good. I know the Jets have a top 5 defense, and they looked phenomenal against them. That's what made me kind of give hope. They have that top 5 ranked defense, and then obviously, like, their offense isn't good, but the fact that they were still holding them to 6 points with all the injuries on defense is still pretty impressive. It just shows you how good, like, people like next man up, Terrell Bernard on the Bills is the number 1 on PFF ranked linebackers in the league. So he's been stepping it up ever since Matt Milano got hurt, which is good.
That's true.
Oh, no, sorry, my bad. It wasn't Terrell Bernard. It was Tyrell Dodson. He's been set because Terrell Bernard's already been a starter. But
that's true. The biggest hitter you guys have in your division is the Dolphins, though. They're right now they're 7-3. You guys.
Yeah, but the Bills know how to beat the Dolphins, dude. Like the last time they played, and this was even what's his name as the offense coordinator, Ken Dorsey. They put up 48 points and they dominated. Josh Allen had 150.3 or 58.3. He had a perfect passer rating, which has only been happened like 70 other times in the whole history of the National Football League. So
that's true. I also kind of want to touch about the AFC North and Joe Burrow. He's out for the season.
Dude, that is crazy. That was something I wasn't gonna expect. It's his second season-ending injury, dude. Like, and you gotta think, man. With that, he might be Andrew Luck 2.0 with that. I can kind of not with this particular, but I can see him kind of maybe retiring early due to injuries or just not wanting to get hit because his O-line just sells because they don't want to build a proper O-line around Joe Burrow, which is stupid.
True, but do you think Joe Burrow might be getting traded? Other than retiring, do you think Joe Burrow will try requesting a trade out of the Bengals?
No, dude, he just got that huge extension, and with this bad O-line, they still made it as far as the Super Bowl. I think he will 100% stay unless I'm saying after a prolonged number of years, like after let's check in about 6 years, like where Joe Burrow is at. If he's hasn't won anything, not an MVP, not a Super Bowl, I think he's either going to retire or he's going to try to leave and go to a better team, which I wouldn't blame him.
You think the Bengals have? Do you think the Bengals have a chance to stay strong as they are right now?
No, I don't think so.
No.
I mean, because I think I like Joe Burrow and I think he's really good. I think he definitely made an impact on the team, and I do think that the Bengals, he's almost not carried, but it helps that he has a really good receiving core. But I don't think they would function like they would without him. So I think they're done for this officially to rule him out. I mean, if they somehow make the playoffs, good for them. But shows how strong their team is. But it's not like they're going to make a Super Bowl run or anything like that.
Yeah, or unless Jake Browning somehow does amazing with the team.
True.
Really crazy.
Could be like Nick Foles 2.0.
Yeah, there you go.
Arvin,
Also,
the Ravens then.
Yeah, go ahead, Josh.
I was going to ask your guys' opinion on the Ravens in the AFC North.
They're great, but I don't think they're going to win the Super Bowl. They're good. I don't think they're good enough to win the Super Bowl. I think I don't know. I think they can maybe make I think they can make the AFC Championship, maybe the Super Bowl at the latest, but I don't think they're going to win.
Ooh. You don't want to see Lamar Jackson, bro, pop off?
I love to see Lamar Jackson. I love Lamar Jackson, but I don't know. I don't think so.
Fair point.
Arvin, I want to touch back with your MVP talk about only getting quarterback, or only the quarterbacks are recognized. Are there any receivers that you say deserve the MVP nomination?
Yeah, I would say Tyreek Hill. He's been excellent throughout the season. You could also throw in an AJ Brown, even though he had a really bad game last week. I think he
Yeah.
could do something, and he could
I'd
win
say
an
Tyreek
MVP.
Hill is for sure
Yeah.
like an actual MVP candidate. He's elevated that team from like a decent offense to like an elite offense with just him, and that's usually only quarterbacks can make that kind of difference. That's how insanely talented Tyreek Hill is.
Yeah.
What about speaking of that, speaking of receivers, I heard that Cooper Kupp was out again.
Yeah, I got hurt.
Yeah, I saw
Yeah.
that.
It just
I think
sucks
Yeah,
because like when he's healthy, he's a top 5 wide receiver in the league.
for
It
sure,
really
dude. Like
sucks.
it sucks for the Rams because Stafford keep getting hurt too. I think they should try to get
they
like a
got Carson
franchise
Wentz
guy.
though.
Carson Wentz isn't like I don't think he's gonna
Yeah,
make that much of a difference. Like I know Stafford was even healthy the other day. It just I think in the next couple of years they're gonna have to move on from Matt Stafford for sure.
yeah, no,
You're
that's
gonna have to
totally
draft a
agreeable.
quarterback.
Sure.
Just for the sake of their future, only because if they wait too long, they're gonna have so many years where they're not gonna have the guy, or they're gonna struggling for the guy just to keep their jobs, as opposed to properly letting someone develop or drafting someone like I said before, properly letting them develop. Which if teams, I don't know how teams don't realize that works. That if you let someone properly develop, like it can work, you know.
That's true. That's true. Speaking of like LA, like football teams, Chargers and Brandon Stanley, you think he's going to get fired soon, get canned?
For Justin Herbert's sake, I sure hope so, dude. This guy is ruining his prime. There's Justin Herbert's like prime years. He's too talented.
Yeah, his receivers can't catch. They
Quentin
can't catch
Johnson
any.
can catch. Keenan Allen can catch. Everyone else can't
Yeah,
catch.
and their O line. I don't know if you saw that play. He spiked the ball. He's so frustrated with his O line not snapping the ball. He's tired of it.
Damn.
Yeah,
Really.
it sucks, dude. Because like the Chargers have like great players on their team. It's just they aren't coached right. Like Khalil Mack is still pretty good. Derwin James is really good. Asante Samuel Jr. is pretty good. And then offense, of
Eckler.
course, Justin Herbert, Austin Eckler, Keenan Allen. Gerald Everett's pretty good too. And Mike Williams. I think he's hurt though, right? He's out for the season.
Yeah, Michael. He's out for the season.
Okay, so I mean, but still, like, man, Quentin Johnson's a first. He reminds me of that dude on the Eagles. What was his name? He's on the Patriots now. I kept on dropping. He would always drop balls.
Oh, is it? Are you talking about? No, you're not talking about Jalen Rager. What are you talking about?
Jalen Rager, yeah, Jalen Rager. Remember,
Jalen Rager, yeah.
dude, he was taken before Justin Jefferson.
That's crazy of you still. That's still.
That's still crazy. And now, like, obviously he's hurt right now, but Justin Jefferson, when he's healthy, is like the best receiver in the league. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I know we were kind of far removed from Thanksgiving games, but I still wanted to talk about the other two matchups. I don't think I got a chance. Cowboys Commanders. Cowboys Commanders. That's an interesting one too. Cowboys, they've been really dominant this year defensively. They've had some off games, but overall they've been pretty dominant with their team. And then the Commanders haven't looked the best, but they've had flashes of like pretty good teams. Like Sam Howell has looked pretty decent. He's number 1 in passing yards right now. He is the only one with over 3,000. So
I don't know if you want, but you could put him in the MVP mix if you wanted to. He could be
I
in the
don't
list.
think so. I don't think because I don't think he's made an. I mean, you could. I don't know if he'll like in the top 5, but he's probably in the top 10 for MVP.
He's
I'll
on
say
that list. He's in the top 10. I don't think he's. C.J. Stroud's done way better than Sam Howell.
Yeah, C.J. Stroud is for sure and C.J. Stroud's number 2 in passing yards, but yeah, that would be crazy if C.J. Stroud won MVP his rookie year. That would be, especially because I don't know if you guys remember in the. I'll go back to the Cowboys Commanders game in a second, but I just want to talk about the pre-draft process. Remember when, what's his name? C.J. Stroud. He took the Wonderlic test and he got a low score. People were like, "Oh, he's not good. That's not a good sign." Blah blah blah, all that stuff. And then he had this quote where he says, "I don't take tests. I play football." And I mean, he's basically outshining all the quarterbacks. I mean, Anthony Richardson got hurt, but it's not. I don't think he would outshine him. Bryce Young hasn't looked very good. I'm not going to blame him too much, only because his coaching's bad. But it just comes to show that what matters is if you can step on that football field and throw the ball and win games for your team.
True. Yeah. That just reminds me because I was at the UCLA versus USC game, and Caleb Williams, he let me down, man.
I bet, dude.
That game was a doozy.
I thought that game was going to be in the because who does UCLA even have like playing for them? I don't know any of their players.
Their QB. UCLA's QB is Ethan Garbers.
Yeah, I mean, for the last 4
Yeah.
years, they had DTR. DTR is the lead all-time passer at UCLA, so to get rid of him, it's definitely a big loss. So that's why I thought, oh, this is an easy win for USC, but no. No.
Nah, nah. The game felt like they knew they lost. They didn't even put them the effort. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
they knew it was like a done deal. They're going to lose. They're like, might as well make it
It
lose.
sucks that this is probably Caleb Williams' last college game ever. That was probably it.
No
That's
bowl
true.
Unless he
contention.
Where do you
decides to
think
stay
Caleb?
another year.
No,
No. Where do you think Caleb Williams is going to get picked up by? No,
Giants.
the draft. Giants, New York.
Do you think his stats
Giants or
numbers went
Patriots?
down though? You think his like picking numbers going to go down because of how his season this year turned out?
He could
I
drop
mean,
down to five.
if it
He'll be
is,
fine.
they're stupid. They're dumb. If you are letting Caleb Williams go, unless your team already has a franchise quarterback and you're somehow the number one pick, then yeah, by all means, let him have him. We'll let him go. But like, come on, like I think if you're like the Giants, are you really not taking him?
But with
Williams.
that, like, you just paid Daniel Jones all that money. So, like, what are you
True.
gonna do with that?
They were.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't know, man. It's like this could get like, because imagine Daniel Jones gets back from an ACL injury and he's still not good. Then what happens?
Yeah.
That's true. I also heard Chicago might be mentioned for Caleb Williams, maybe.
As far as I know it's kind of a hot take. I still think they should stick with Justin Fields. He had a pretty good game last week. Yeah, he was pretty decent. He's not bad. He's a good quarterback. I think he is. I honestly blame, for any lack of thing, I still blame Chicago being Chicago. They don't know how, when it comes to having a quarterback, they don't know how to act, dude. I swear. Chicago has never had a quarterback pass for 4,000 yards in a season ever in their history. Not once.
Damn,
Wow.
that's scary, man.
I feel like they need.
They're
like,
one of the oldest franchises, yeah.
I feel like Chicago needs that like wide receiver. Sure, DJ Moore is good, and they have Tyler Scott and Mooney, but I feel like you need to upgrade from Mooney and get someone better in the draft or free agent. Like Marvin
Yeah.
Harrison could easily go to the Bears.
Yeah, true. If they are, they definitely should take Marvin Harrison Jr. if they're at the number 1 or number 2. If they have a top pick, for sure.
I want him to go to the Patriots if we get him, but I don't know if we get him.
Oh yeah, I mean, honestly, like as someone, I'm not a big fan of Patriots, of course, but like honestly,
Yeah.
if Patriots need someone, they're all talking about like Mac Jones, but Mac Jones is a decent game manager when like if he had to get a receiving core, he wouldn't be bad. Like if he had a good receiving core, so I mean,
Yeah, the problem I have with the Patriots, it's like I want to believe in Mac, but when I watched that game against the Colts, I just wanted to like. It was so bad to watch. Like they were literally in the red zone, and he underthrew Gasecki, and I was so mad. It was
I don't know
terrible.
what happened to him.
Actually,
He had a
no,
good
it's
rookie. He had a
Kentucky.
good rookie year, dude.
I don't know.
It's a
Yeah.
shame because I remember that rookie year. I was so nervous they were gonna take the division. You guys were gonna take the division that year, and then, and even then, 10-7, it made the playoffs. That's a good year. That's a great year. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, not for like the Patriots standards because the Patriots have so used to winning. So it's like,
But you know what? 20 years we've been so good. I feel like a rebuild. This is a fine rebuild. We've been good for 20 years.
Yeah.
We've been on top. We have 6 Super Bowls. It's like, okay, we have to rebuild eventually.
fair. I think for the Patriots personally, I think for when it comes to Bill Belichick, I don't think they should let him go entirely, but I think they should take away his general manager
I
duties,
agree with that.
and then he should stay head coach because he's a great head coach. He knows how to scheme his ass off for sure. But he just can't. He can't draft. He's not really good at drafting. He can find some diamonds in the rough, sure, but like when it comes to like drafting in those first few rounds, he's not good at it.
I agree. 100%.
Yeah.
And also, we
Yeah,
don't,
I kind of wanted.
also,
I was going to touch base with you, Arvin.
oh, go ahead.
I was going to touch base with you on Bill Belichick. Do you think he's going to be the Patriots are going to let him go? He's going to go to a different team, or do you think?
I've read some
stay?
stuff about a mutual parting of ways, but I feel like you can't get rid of him. He won you so many Super Bowls.
Yeah, I think honestly, realistically, or what should happen is if Bill Belichick leaves, it should be a retirement, not should be because if they let another team pick him up, dude, like a team with like a decent roster, like the Chargers, like
Yeah,
it's
that's what
done. It's done.
Yeah.
The Chargers are gonna be a Super Bowl contender.
I think
Mhm.
Bill and Kraft, they need to go see what they need. And we don't have Judon or Christian Gonzalez as well. We get those guys back. Plus,
True. It's mostly offensive struggles that really the Patriots.
yeah,
Defensively, when they're healthy, the Patriots are a solid defense. So
I
I
kind of
think they
want
don't
the
need to.
Patriots. I know T. Higgins is going to be like a free agent or something. So
Yeah.
Patriots could
So it
trade for him.
either draft Marvin Harrison or sign T Higgins as a wide receiver one. And I
We still
think
like well, if we get T. Higgins somehow, we have T. Higgins, Bourne, and Demario Douglas. He's been amazing. I like him a lot.
he's been pretty. He's a slot receiver, if I'm not wrong,
Yeah,
right?
he's good.
Yeah, he's been solid. He's been solid.
He's been really good. So if we get those three guys and we just develop, we fix our defensive struggles, O line, then we're back.
For sure. For
I was
sure.
Zeke
I
as a
mean,
Patriot.
What's up?
I was Zeke as a Patriot.
He's actually been okay. Like I
he's
kind of
been
like
decent.
he's been all right. Not like anything crazy. He's been average.
You think they put a Ramondre Stevens? You think he's better than Ramondre, or do you think Ramondre will be?
Ramondre is better, and Bill really
When he
likes him
plays his
too.
best, Ramondre Stevenson is 100%. Like
But
he's one
if
of the
I
best.
had,
He's arguably the best person on that offense.
yeah,
Like when he's playing his best.
but if I had to pick a quarterback, if Mac Jones doesn't work out, I would want. Probably want my brother. He said, let's get Jaden McDaniels. I'm like, yeah, he couldn't be
Dude,
bad.
Jaden McDaniels has been good. He might win the Heisman. He's put up some insane numbers, dude.
So if it doesn't work out with Mac, I would want him as my QB or Drake May as well. But we'll see what
I
happens.
totally think the Patriots should draft a dude to put the pressure on Mac Jones, and then worst case scenario, if Mac Jones doesn't work out, then you guys got a guy. That's what I think. If the Patriots are
Yeah,
smart, they should do. Because best case scenario, you have a decent trade asset in the backup quarterback, and then Mac Jones works out. In the worst case scenario, you just trade. You either cut Mac, bench him, he becomes a backup, and then you just start whoever is the new franchise guy potentially.
exactly. Yeah. We'll see. Okay, I think right now Patriots have like the third pick. I think overall as of right now, if the season ended today. But yeah.
You got to think, Arvin. This is at least a good test to see if who's a bandwagoner and who's not a bandwagoner.
No, yeah. Like literally, like
You get to
we've
weed
had.
out all the non-loyal Patriots fans.
Yeah, it's just the Patriots community. Like I look on the Bleacher Report, they're so annoying. I can't stand any of them.
Dude, even the Bills, some of the Bills fans are just such crybabies. Like, oh my
I
god,
know.
calm down. But like have some faith in your own. Even if they're not doing well, you always got to have faith in your team. If you don't ever have faith in your team, like in totality, obviously, if there's like a time where like, yeah, we're not going to win this stretch of games, that's one thing. But to just totally they give up hope on them is just it's kind of absurd in my opinion.
Yeah.
Agreed. Wait,
Oh,
if in the college football world, did you guys see from the highlights from I think from last week? I think I forgot who ran the play, but this person ran to the end zone before they made the touchdown. They dropped the ball just
I
short.
saw that.
I was
I
like,
saw that.
dude.
Yeah.
They're like, it's a
I
touchdown.
don't remember who that
And
was.
everyone's like, no, it's not a touchdown. I think it was Washington. They fumbled the ball.
Yeah,
No,
I saw
Damn,
that clip.
really?
yeah, like he was short.
I like the reference.
Thanks, Max.
Lesson learned. Don't drop the ball. Just take it in and don't do anything dumb.
It's like, dude, you just gave up an easy touchdown, but it's like, but then it's college.
Yeah.
But I looking at the roster
lot.
for the scheduling. There's a good game on Saturday. Ohio State and Michigan.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be really
The
Oh
fun.
game.
yeah, that's good.
The
Yeah.
game. You know it's legit when it's called the game.
Yeah, that's gonna be a really fun game to watch.
On
That's
Fox.
prime time, right?
9 a.m. on Fox.
Oh,
It's gonna be at Michigan Stadium. So
okay. 9 in the morning. Cool. It'll be a great game.
That's me insane. I mean, looking at for ticket prices from ESPN, it says ticket is as low as $423. That's insane. And
The lowest?
Whoa,
Yeah.
that's like nose. And is it at Michigan or Ohio State?
It's at Michigan.
Michigan.
It's at the big house, so you're getting seats from way up because it's the largest capacity stadium in the United States, if I'm not wrong. I believe
For a
It's
college
110,000
stadium?
people, I think. Yeah, it's a college stadium. It has in the United States, it has the biggest capacity of any stadium in the country. It's the number 3 on the planet.
Holy smokes.
I know, it's nuts. Who do you guys think is gonna win that game?
I'm gonna say Michigan because JJ McCarthy's been pretty good.
Michigan, and their defense is still solid,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, Ohio State's been they've been had other ups and downs, but you never know. I think it could definitely go either way, but definitely Michigan, especially.
You
I
also-
mean, Jim Harbaugh, he's not going to be down there, isn't he? He has
he's
like a
not.
3-game suspension.
He got suspended. Well, who y'all think's gonna make the playoffs for college football? What's your predictions?
Well, Washington definitely.
I think Washington,
Yeah.
Georgia,
Oregon,
FSU.
Oregon,
Texas.
and Michigan.
Texas. There's a lot
Well,
of
it's only
teams
4 this year, so I
Only
mean,
4. Yeah, so Georgia will probably make it. Obviously,
Georgia's
that's
for sure
one.
making it, and they're the best team in
If
football.
they,
In
if
college
they
football.
somehow lose to Georgia Tech, that'll be crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That would be so sad.
Yeah, but that Ohio State Michigan game, that's gonna pretty much decide the playoff fate for both those teams.
Yeah, basically whoever wins that game goes to the playoffs.
Exactly.
I think Oregon will make it definitely for sure.
Bo Nix has been looking like a Heisman candidate. I think, I still kind of think for a Heisman candidate, I still think Jay McDaniels or LSU's quarterback, they're gonna win.
Mhm.
Why do you say LSU's
But
quarterback
I-
though?
He's been put up some insane numbers. He's been putting up some. There was that one game he had 300 passing yards and 200 rushing yards. He's basically their entire offense. I can't remember who it was against, but it was insane. 300 passing yards, 200 rushing yards, like. 200 rushing yards in itself is already impressive, and then to put up 300 passing yards on top of it, and I think he had 2 rush touchdowns and 2 pass touchdowns, I think. I'll have to look up the exact stats, but
You think Jamie McDaniels would go in the first round of the draft, or would he go second?
I really think
say
he'd go
first.
second. But
I
first
say
would probably
first.
be. I think first would be better, but I'm feeling he'd probably go in the second round only because just with how the NFL
Like
draft is so weird.
Like an early second round pick, pretty much.
Yeah, kind of like what Jalen Hurts was for the Eagles.
Yeah, well, whatever. If he goes to the Jets, I think like any quarterback that's going to go to the Jets, their career is kind of ruined.
Yeah, dude, the Jets are cursed, bro.
It's really bad.
Isn't it called
It's
the
so
New
bad
York
that
curse?
New York curse.
Yes,
Yeah.
dude. Like
Yeah.
ever since Joe Namath was quarterback, they haven't had like anyone that was like really good. I mean, they had
Yeah,
Brett
so-
Favre.
Yeah,
But he-
and
but
they
he
just
did-
haven't done it.
But he didn't do that well, right? When he went to the Jets.
No,
Oh,
not really.
I
He
mean,
was
there's
better
Aaron
on
Rodgers,
Minnesota.
but we didn't see him cook though.
What's Aaron Rodgers' contract? It's like 3 years or something, or what?
Yeah, apparently he says he can come back in December. I saw a thing that Colin Cowherd was saying is that he'll never be relevant in the NFL again, and I kind of agree. Like,
Rodgers?
yeah, dude, because he's coming
Wait,
back off a
relevant-
torn Achilles, and you got to think about in the AFC. You know, you still got Mahomes on the Chiefs. You still got the Bills pay like 7 figures for an OC. They're going to be even better again. Bengals are going to come back with Joe Burrow. Dolphins look really good with Tua and Tyreek Hill. It's all these teams in the AFC just look. And I named 2 teams in their own division, and you never know if the
That's it.
Patriots can turn things around quick. So it's like,
Because I think we're gonna have the most cap. We're gonna have a lot of cap space this year.
yeah, make some good free agency signings. I remember last time like the Patriots had a ton of cap. The next season they went 10-7 and went to the playoffs.
Yeah,
So it's like,
we got cute on that year. I remember that.
Plus, to be fair,
I was one
I
of their
think
best free
Aaron-
agency signings in recent years.
I was gonna say, plus, to be fair, I think Aaron Rodgers, whole cohort, like Brady, Drew Brees, they all left. You know what I mean? I think he's just sticking around. I think he's sticking around. I don't
Yeah,
know.
the only
I feel like he'd
quarterback
be
from like kind
older.
of his from that era that's kind of still around is Stafford. That's it. Matt Ryan is not officially retired. He's more like semi-retired, where he's doing other stuff. But if someone were to call and say they wanted Matt Ryan, he said he would pick up. So
Yeah,
You don't
I
see
get that. Like,
Joe Flacco's on the Browns now. No, that's crazy.
that's crazy, dude.
Crazy.
The only thing that would be crazier than him going to the Browns would be him going to the Steelers. That would be nuts. But still, that's to the Browns. The most elite quarterback ever, Joe Flacco.
Speaking of the Steelers, do we to speak about Steelers firing their OC?
Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah.
I think I mentioned
Got
it, but
We did.
yeah, it's a great thing for them. Like
I
he
think it
was
was the right
so bad. Everyone was saying it was like a thing,
Matt
but you
Canada.
couldn't even avoid it. Yeah, they were kind of forced to because you couldn't go anywhere in the Steelers media without someone saying "Fire Matt Canada, fire Matt Canada, fire Matt Canada." So
I heard like Pittsburgh was lighting up when it was announced like Matt Canada was fired. You know, it's like
that's how I felt when
an
Ken Dorsey
inseparable
got fired.
parade.
So I know how they feel. That's how I felt when Ken Dorsey got fired. I was so happy.
So who's the interim OC for the team though?
For the Steelers.
Yeah.
There's so many
Get
memes
that.
online. Obviously, I don't know who it is, but there were so many memes people saying it should be Antonio Brown.
It's
Oh my
Eddie
God.
Faulkner.
I
Eddie
don't know who that
Faulkner
is,
the
but
interim.
what you know what his previous position was?
Running back. I think he was like a running back coach.
Running back coach. Oh, okay, interesting. So
Yeah.
hopefully he can involve Najee Harris a little bit more because he's been kind of slacking.
Oh yeah, Eddie
Yeah.
Falker, and then Mike Sullivan's gonna be the QB coach.
Mhm.
So this guy was a QB coach. This other guy.
Who Eddie
Mike-
Faulkner?
Yeah.
Eddie
No,
Faulkner is a interim offensive coordinator and running backs coach for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Oh, okay. So all right.
Some teams have like quarterback coaches as well. Like
The Ravens have one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Bills' old one is now there. Like Ken Dorsey was also the quarterback coach, and now he got fired. Now Joe Brady. After one game, Joe Brady's been looking good. So like, I'm
I feel
hopeful,
like,
but you never know.
I feel like Bills fans are, oh yeah, we did so like, it's one game. You gotta see how it plays out.
It is. So like, I'm happy, but I'm still nervous. Like I think if they beat the Eagles, we're so back if we beat the Eagles. But if not, then it's like.
Jets game was just a get right game. Josh Allen's doing well. Now,
Yeah, this is like This is a true litmus test. This is a true litmus test to see if are they truly contenders. This game right here. This is a very important game.
If you can do it against the Eagles, then you're pretty set. You're pretty much
Yeah,
set.
if you can do it against the Eagles, you can definitely do it against the Chiefs and the Cowboys for sure.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then not to mention the Chargers and the Patriots again, and the Dolphins for sure. Patriots, their Bills own the Dolphins, so Josh Allen specifically owns the Dolphins. He doesn't really necessarily own the Patriots. He's been beat by the Patriots a few times, like this year, including, and a couple years ago. I remember.
That's true. I mean, I remember one specific game when I think the Patriots beat the Bills, but I think like the weather was like so bad. It was bad that day.
I remember this
seeing
so
Jordan
well.
Poyer on the. And I remember seeing Jordan Poyer on like the post conference, and he's like saying, "Hey, guys, the weather was so bad." But
Dude, it was so
bad.
The Patriots only ran the ball. Mac Jones had 3 pass attempts, and they only ran the ball. And I remember this because I had Damian Harris starting on my fantasy lineup, and I was losing to Arvin in fantasy football, and I won because he had so many carries and he had like a couple touchdowns. He had so much volume that game. It was nuts. All the Patriots running backs had a ton of volume that game, but he was the RB1, so he was.
Yeah, I was happy they won, so I'm like, okay, fair enough.
Yeah. I was like sad. I remember like being so nervous. I was like, I can't watch the game. That was great.
Alrighty, anything else?
Basketball. It's basketball time.
Basketball.
Yeah, let's move on to basketball. I kind of
basketball.
want to talk about that. Yeah,
Well, the Clippers beat the Spurs. If so, that's all I'm gonna say. 109 against 102. So I already got my dose of happiness, I would say.
I mean, Lakers won yesterday, but they lost today, and they almost won against the Mavs. Luka's been playing like an MVP. So
Oh yeah, that's true.
And then
No,
the Warriors against the Suns. I saw they were the Suns were behind in the fourth quarter, and then KD just pretty much just put them away. Not
KD,
Yeah.
has been one of the best decisions that team has made. He's genuinely like helping them so much. Like,
I mean,
for
Devin
sure,
Booker and
he could
everybody.
be
yeah, because
he's arguably like the best player on that team. Yeah,
he put away 32 points. He was 7 for 14, shooting 50%, 3 for 4 on the 3-point
not
line,
bad.
and then 100% on the free throw line as well, with 8 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 blocks. That's pretty awesome.
That's a solid. That's a great game, KD.
yeah. Also, the Lakers are 4-0 in the NBA tournament. I think they already clinched the group stage.
They already clinched their group.
It's great.
So I don't know. I still find this tournament really interesting. I'm excited to see more of it, and I'm excited to see it evolve because I know like this is only the first year. Think about how cool it'll be in like next year. You know?
I mean, I think they get like 500K like each player in the trophy. So
Yeah, so it's an accomplishment. It's something that they can put on the legacy reg. I mean, like about it. If someone like LeBron wins it, like he's the undisputed GOAT. No one else will have it. Oh yeah, where's Jordan's in season tournament win, huh? You know?
exactly.
I still would say Jordan is still a better GOAT than LeBron, though.
Oh,
Yeah, but-
nah, I think LeBron is better. I'll be honest.
But
I
who's
mean-
more handsome? So like, I'm kidding.
No, but like
But that's fair. I'm not gonna like. I'm someone that I think LeBron is the best. But if someone says Jordan's the best, I don't really think. I think arguing with him is dumb because like they both have great arguments to be number one, the top guy in my opinion. They both have significant arguments. So if someone even thinks Kareem's the best, I'm not even gonna argue with them because he has a great argument for that too.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. The first time I saw Kareem was in Bruce Lee's Game of Death, and he fought Bruce Lee. That's literally my first memory of Kareem. I'm not gonna lie.
Same here. I remember that.
I watched that movie when I was fucking 5, bro.
For me, it was
Funny,
Airplane.
Bruce. I just thought he was.
Oh, he was an airplane. Yeah, I forgot.
The little kid's
love
like,
Kareem.
"Hey, you're that basketball player, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar." He turns his head. He goes, "No, kid, I'm just some pilot here."
that's funny.
And it's like my dad thinks you're not that great, but I think you're one of the best. Like from that old dialogue. Wild.
Yeah.
But it's crazy to have the GOAT
I don't
debate
get your guys.
involve those two, though.
People
For
have been
sure. I
talking
mean,
about
like,
it for years. Like that's the debate that was going for a long time.
yeah. Dude, I remember when there was a debate that who was better. At least I don't know if everyone has like this. I remember it was kind of a debate because I have a brother who's older than a couple of my brothers. Like I have 4 brothers, and 2 of them are really close to me in age, and then a couple of them obviously are like there's a bit of an age gap. And then one of the ones that's older was arguing with us, saying that he thinks Michael. We were arguing Kobe over Michael Jordan, which is like I like Kobe, but I definitely don't think he comes super close to Michael Jordan.
No,
He's on the top 5, but like
He's top 5, arguably top
5 for
3.
sure,
but
yeah.
He's top 5, but I don't know.
it's because
People-
Kobe was basically
I-
our spitting image of Michael Jordan, of what Michael Jordan would be in that day and age in
True.
the league.
Heavily competitive and super like determined and basically very ball dominant. Yeah.
and also Klay Thompson's been really disappointing for the Warriors.
He has splashed so much. He's now washed. I swear he is
He's
not.
been a letdown, and I feel
he's
like
wa-
I think they should do what they did with Austin Reeves, bring him off the bench. Maybe that can do something to his confidence.
What about
Maybe he
Curry?
can play a little.
and like what they've done with what's his name? They've done with Russ, dude. They did the same thing with Russ on the. I mean, I remember last year they tried to take Russ off the bench on the Lakers. It didn't work in the Lakers system. He just didn't work in the Lakers system. Period.
He just wants the ball a lot, and like with AD and LeBron, they spread the ball around.
Yeah, and it was kind of the same thing that was going on up until recently, and now even more so with Harden, with PG and Kawhi, where it's like you really want honestly the ball is better in their hands than it is Russ. No offense to Russ, but it can be good in his hands. It's just most of the time keep it with Kawhi and PG.
How did James Harden do tonight? Did he do well?
He did it all right.
He was 3 for 7, 16 points, 2 for 4 on 3 point. He had an okay game.
Yeah, nothing to write home about, but it was a mediocre. I
Yeah,
want to get your guys' opinion on Draymond's green suspension, though.
that was
I'm
bad.
curious.
It's so earned. What is that? Someone had a stat where basically all of Draymond Green's suspensions, a lot of like have been when Curry has been playing. So it's like he basically kind of in a way he needs Steph Curry in order to kind of just like do well, which is so Draymond. Draymond is such he's a dirty player, so this
Mm-hmm.
is not a shock
And,
that he's
and
that
even
and him and what's his name have had beef for a couple of years now. Him and Rudy Gobert. So
and also Steve Kerr, he was pretty upset about what happened. Like he's like that shouldn't happen in our game. He was not happy about it, and
yeah,
he deserved that 5 game suspension. Like I think that was totally
oh
fair.
for sure.
But the thing
It could have
is,
been longer. It could have been
go ahead.
yeah, but it could have been longer, like 10 or 15 games. It could have been way longer. Put him
But
in a chokehold. It's
but then
crazy.
shouldn't
That's
the
true.
it was Rudy Gobert, right? That basically grabbed
Mhm.
Clay, but then shouldn't he kind of get a suspension as well? Because what he did?
He should get one too. Yeah, he grabbed Clay, and then it's because it's Draymond, so that they know his history, so they're gonna do it. But yeah, I think that whole scuffle, I think Draymond got suspended and Rudy Gobert should have got suspended as well, equally.
Do you
I
know?
think
Yeah, that's fair.
he's also not getting paid, Draymond. I think he's not getting paid those
Yeah,
five
he's
games.
down like 700,000 or some crazy
That's
numbers.
crazy.
But to him, I bet it's like nothing though, because it's
That's
you're
nothing.
a professional
Yeah.
player getting that much money. To them, it's like probably like $70. To us,
Yeah, it's just
it's like millions and millions of dollars.
a lot.
Yeah. I was gonna ask you
Yeah.
guys about Curry too. I feel like Curry's more, he's kind of going more of a
He needs
down
help.
slope. Mm-hmm. Because I was
Curry
looking
does
at,
need
I
a
mean,
lot
he
of
only saw it because the rest of his team is so bad. He actually puts up crazy numbers.
looking at his stats tonight. He was 6 for 15, 1 for 8 at the 3-point line, which is to me unheard of.
It's not good.
He only had
It's
16
not the
points
Steph
tonight
Curry
though.
we know and love.
I don't know.
I mean, you can't do it every night. I still think that if he had a better team around him, he would still be thriving. That's the big
Yeah.
problem. Like Chris Paul really hasn't really been all that.
Chris Paul's
Yeah.
old. It's like
Hey, he's
53.
washed, bro.
19 years.
Yeah, I mean, CP3. I would say CP3 is like the Aaron Rodgers of basketball in this day and age, low key kind of.
Except he doesn't have a ring. At least Aaron Rodgers has a ring.
Yeah, okay, that's
Yeah.
true. But both past their prime, all their like class, their whole cohort kind of like left. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, he had that one chance, and they blew it against the Bucks.
that was crazy. Yeah, they were up 2-0 and Giannis came back.
How are the Bucks doing? I haven't been keeping up with them.
Oh, let's see. How are the Bucks doing?
They had I think didn't Giannis get benched or no? Yeah, he got ejected. Something like that happened tonight, and Dame came in and finished. Just
Oh yeah, well tonight they played. The Celtics beat them by 3 points. The Bucks are second right now. They're 10-5. It's not horrible.
Oh no,
aren't the T-Wolves number one in the West right now?
they're third now.
Yep, they are. Oh yeah, oh yeah, you're right.
The
Wow.
T-Wolves or Bucks?
The Bucks.
Oh, Bucks. Sorry, Bucks.
Who's number two?
Magic.
Sixers? Oh, the Magic.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Sixers are numbers 5. Wow. Minnesota's number 1 in the West now.
That's still insane. I remember, I mean, I haven't really been keeping up too much with them. Who's been kind of like the main dude? I'm guessing it's Anthony Edwards.
Yeah,
It's
it's
been
Anthony
kind of-
Yeah,
Edwards. As Chris said,
solid.
baby Jordan.
Mhm.
Yeah, I see so many pictures of him. Like,
Dude, the
side by
Pistons will never be good. Like,
side. Dude,
I mean, you could put
only
Draymond
one
there.
Detroit team can be decent.
there you go.
Keep
Yeah.
Draymond in Detroit.
He could start the
Yeah,
the
I
cult
think-
of the bad boys. The bad boy vibes.
Yeah, the bad boy Pistons.
Did you guys hear
Hey,
about
nothing
Scoot
good comes out of Detroit.
I did hear about Q Henderson. Yeah, he's going to the G League.
Henderson? Yeah. That's crazy. Like, he was supposed to be the guy. I mean, I think it's good for him because like he hasn't been great. So like this will be a
He's not injury, right?
yeah, he was on injury, but I think him going to the G League will help him develop as a player. So we'll see how he does there.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah,
It'll only benefit him.
what's your early NBA finals prediction? If you had to pick something right now.
For the playoffs, or just like for the finals.
The finals, who do you think's gonna make it?
I feel like it's gonna be
I had to
the Sixers probably.
wait, Eastern or Western?
West
So-
is gonna be. I think it's gonna be the Denver Nuggets.
Probably
Yeah,
Denver.
West. I'm gonna say Nugs. Yeah, West. I'm gonna say Nugs, and then for the East, I kind of want to say Boston or Miami. I'll be honest.
Okay.
I feel for the East, but
Miami
for
can make
West,
another run.
might.
I mean, hey, dude, like you never count them out. They always pop off in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's right. That's what makes me always like bet
Yeah.
on Miami on like
Also,
they go in.
there's been trade rumors already. Zach LaVine might come to LA. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, that's
Zach
insane.
LaVine or Alex Caruso. But there was a thing, and it was like, oh, there's a rumor that Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, and Alex Caruso to the Lakers, and I'm like, okay, that is an unrealistic trade, and if that trade were to happen, there's no way that we keep Anthony Davis, like no way
Yeah.
in that trade. So I don't think that's gonna happen. So I think maybe you can trade a few of our guys for like Zach LaVine.
Zach
Which would be
LaVine,
good.
he wouldn't be bad. He'd be decent.
Yeah, he'd be pretty good.
He'll be for the highlight
if they
reel with
wanna
his
bring-
dunks.
Yeah, he's good.
True, yeah, he's one of the best dunkers ever. He can dunk.
But
Who's the best dunker of all time, in your guys' opinion?
Best Laker of all time.
Dunker.
Best Laker of all time.
Best Laker of all
Okay.
time is like Kareem.
Magic.
Or
Magic.
Kareem.
Yeah, Magic or Kareem. That's my.
But I was saying dunker, like dunking the
Dunker,
ball.
sorry, Dunker.
Yeah.
Oh,
I wanna. This may sound really out of pocket, but my opinion, honestly, probably Blake Griffin, because I grew up watching Blake Griffin.
Blake
and
Griffin
dunking
was
like his big
he
thing.
was a nasty dunker. I remember on the Lob City Clippers, he was nasty.
Yeah,
Lob
Yeah,
City.
but that's just like me being like heavily biased, you know.
I was gonna say Blake Griffin as well.
All time, yeah, that's fair.
Or Dwight.
Dude literally jumped over a Kia car as a stunt
That's
to
crazy.
make a dunk.
Or yeah, Dwight Howard's another good one too.
Superman's in the house.
That can also be up there, I would say.
I don't know. For me, I only have
dunking.
5. I have to have 5 because I can't really necessarily decide. Because I would
Who's
say
your five?
Ooh, yeah.
my 5 is, of course, Jordan, because I kind of grew up with him.
With the Jordan dunk, yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair.
You have Dr. J, who basically started the dunking
Okay.
pretty much with the dunk contest.
Mhm.
Let's see. I would probably I'll put another old school guy. I'll probably put Dominique Wilkins. 'Cause he,
Okay.
if I want to go new day and age, maybe young Kobe.
Okay.
It's like I want to put LeBron up there, but I don't want to put LeBron up there because I just don't.
LeBron doesn't do the dunk contest.
Yeah,
Like,
he
His
doesn't do
dunks
it.
are like more impactful or cool, but they're not like super like crazy dunks. They're usually like it's mostly like in context they're crazy, but the actual dunks themselves aren't
Okay,
crazy.
let me take off
I
Kobe
mean,
and
Magic
put.
had the sky hook.
That's true. Let me take off Kobe and put Vince Carter, because
Okay, that's
Yeah.
a good
Oh,
one.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Got something cooking
Yeah.
here.
if I want to go new day and age, I'd probably put Zach LaVine as the
Zach
bottom.
LaVine, yeah.
Mhm. So those are the 5 I have.
You just robbed Mac McClung, the greatest dunker of all
Can't
time.
believe he won the dunk contest. That's crazy.
McClone.
He had some crazy dunks too.
I have to watch it in order to know. Then he probably would be on there. I just never seen him dunk. That's the only way I could support that.
He won the dunk contest last year. It was crazy. I mean,
Yeah.
I'll probably have a moment
Who's
to watch
like
it.
Who's like the top prospect for like college basketball right now, like, for next year's draft?
There's a
Is
guy
there
from
anybody?
Purdue.
Is it?
Okay.
Let me look him up. He's
Oh,
from
who could be pretty good in a couple of years is Cooper Flagg, who's I'm trying to remember where he committed to. Cooper Flagg's gonna be pretty good when he reaches the NBA.
Zach Edey. That's the
Well,
guy from Purdue.
okay.
Let's see.
Also, Bronny is probably gonna go to the next year's draft, 2024.
Depends how
Like
his
1 year at
performance is.
USC.
His marketing, yeah.
Yeah, that's another. I don't know if you guys also heard Bryce Young is going. Oh no, yeah, Bryce is going back to Sierra Canyon.
Mm-hmm.
He posted that.
I thought you said something about Bryce Young. I was about to say,
Sorry, no,
wrong
Bryce,
sport, wrong sport.
wrong sport. Yeah, Bryce James. Because I thought he was going to Ohio State, but I guess he didn't want to do that.
I wonder why
Oh
he left.
yeah,
I
mean, I
wonder
think
why
like
he left Notre Dame high school. Because he was there, and now he's coming back to Sierra Canyon.
yeah, he was.
Closer
I mean,
to
Sierra
home.
Canyon's also a really good program, but it's just really random. Like both are really good programs. What's the point, of transferring? Unless he's like, oh, he wants to go back to his old. He was at Sierra Canyon before, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, both of them were Bronny and Bryce.
But the thing is, Bronny played. When I went to go see him play against Saugus High School, he was playing on JV. He didn't. He's on the varsity roster, but he plays for JV, so he didn't play at all that game. It was just mostly Bronny. But it's gonna be
How did Saugus do? Out of curiosity.
Saugus didn't. They had them. They had them up to the half, and then after that, they just lost the momentum.
Oh,
But I'm very curious. I'm very curious to see how Valencia High School is gonna do against them, since Bryce is coming to play for Sierra Canyon. Valencia is gonna be playing them in January, so I'm kind of curious on how that's gonna go.
Does Oak Park play Sierra Canyon at all, Max, or no? Or you're not sure?
I'll have to check Oak Park's schedule. That'd be crazy.
Let me check.
I'm curious.
Max Preps. Max Preps, all your sports needs and scheduling and rosters.
This is not an ad, but I wish it was.
Oh yeah, Max Preps. Damn, they're saying Oak Park's 3-1. Wow.
If I look at the schedule.
I don't know a single person that still goes there.
Oh wow, we actually are playing Sierra Canyon in December.
Wow.
Let's go Oak Park Eagles.
December
Yeah,
29th. Yeah. Another good one is to go see is Harvard Westlake against Sierra Canyon, because they went head to head last year. I think in the regular season, and they did it in the postseason too, in the playoffs to go play for the championship in D1. So that was pretty awesome. But I'm kind of curious to see how Valencia is going to do, because Valencia they won the state championship for D5. So, I mean, if they're going to be playing Sierra Canyon, I think their ranks went up since they won the championship last year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Should be better for them, for sure.
But I don't know. For going back on Bronny, I feel like he would do better if he played all 4 years at USC, depending on how his performance is going.
It just depends how he does his first year. Yeah, we need to see him play in USC.
Mhm.
Problem is he's gonna be hyper scrutinized, so if he like not a lot of people are gonna be patient because you know how basketball fans can be,
It's kind of like Shaq and his
That's
son.
true.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
I think
Like,
he's
what
now on the
Jackson, like,
he's on the Lakers G League team now. I think Shaq's son.
Sharif. So is Scottie Pippen's son, dude.
Yeah, that's cool actually.
Throw on the South Bay Lakers.
That's cool.
Scottie Pippen's son also played for Sierra Canyon last year with Bronny too.
Yeah, yeah.
He kind of looked like
His
his
other
dad.
son, because Scottie Pippen Jr. is it was on the NBA and the G League, so I'm guessing it's his second son.
Yeah.
And
Should be
then
interesting to see where they go.
I know Bronny also plays with Dennis Rodman's son.
Okay, cool.
Dang, all this pressure to these kids.
It's like, especially like when you call your son LeBron James Jr., it's so much pressure on him because like he's gonna be compared to his dad the whole time. It's rough, and I think LeBron said himself, "Yeah, that was a mistake. I shouldn't have done that." But now people just call him Bronny, so it's fine.
LeBron James.
And actually, he's the first one in the family to go to college.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that's
LeBron
true.
just went straight to the NBA.
LeBron went to the NBA. His wife went to some community college classes, and that's it.
Yeah, 'cause she's married. She's married to the king. You know,
Hmm
she don't need to go to college.
Okay, now since we were having a debate of best of the best, what about the best team?
Like right now, or of all
Oh, I'm
time.
sorry,
All time or
of all
all
time,
time?
best team of all time in the NBA.
Probably with the Shaq and Kobe era. That was
01 Lakers,
01
02
Lakers was
Lakers.
For
amazing.
one look here. Yeah.
If Shaq and Kobe didn't like have that
If
breakout, I feel like
Shaq didn't get so lazy and not, because that was one of the reasons why they didn't like each other, is because Shaq had such a terrible work ethic. He would get so lazy because no matter what he did, he would always be dominant until it caught up to him really fast, and that's why when he retired, he was just really bad. You know, when he was on the Celtics and stuff. So
if they
yeah.
didn't have that like drama, I feel like they could have won five. I think he even said himself, if we didn't have that drama, we could have won five more championships.
I think they could have won 10, dude. They were that good. They were a
Wait,
dominant duo. They're arguably the best duo. The only other duo that is up there is like Pippen and Jordan. That's it.
that team was good too with Dennis Rodman. That was a good team as well.
Oh yeah, you could argue that the
95,
96,
96.
97, or
95, yeah.
95, 96, whatever one what had the second most wins all time, that arguably could be the best team of all time for
72 and 10.
basketball.
I mean, they have a ring on it, so
Definitely not the
that's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
It's definitely not the 2016 Warriors. They went down to a 3-1 deficit.
They
They
had
lost a 3-1 deficit.
And there was a meme
best
saying
record in the league.
go ahead.
So they had the best record in the league and they messed up.
Yeah. I mean, as there was a meme that was going around with Pippen and Jordan laughing, and they say it don't mean a thing without a ring.
That is true.
True. In that regard, yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
How can you be the best team ever if you don't even win, you know?
Yeah.
Okay. Best two teams of all time to see them play against each other.
That's two teams.
The
It
It kinda
bias
has
in me
to.
wants to say the 2010 Lakers versus the 2010 Finals. That one was really good, but obviously there's probably better answers.
Oh no, like say if you want
I
to
want to say
have
the
like
85.
go ahead.
I see what you
85
mean.
or
You wanted
86 Celtics. Oh, wait.
No, but I think what he's talking about is which two teams did you love to see play each other?
Oh.
Dude, the 01 Lakers versus like the 95-96 Bulls would be nuts. That would
That'd
be
be
insane.
crazy. That'd be
Ooh,
That
that
would
would be
be
insane, yeah.
like the greatest playoff series ever.
Yeah, that
be
would be.
madness.
Phil Jackson and everybody, man.
Yep.
Phil Jackson against Phil Jackson.
Oh yeah.
That's true.
He has to clone himself.
You have a
It's like an
slightly
alternate
older
dimension of Phil Jackson.
slightly younger Phil Jackson.
Yeah, Phil Jackson was probably like one of my favorite Laker coaches.
He's arguably the best of all time.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. Wait, of like just basketball coaching or just like coach?
I think of all time
What's up?
coaching.
Basketball coaches all time. He's probably like
Really?
he's
up
probably
there.
like top 5, top 3. Phil Jackson heasily. He's
Also
literally in charge of he's literally the coach of like basically 2 dynasties.
Also, you could put up Popovich there as well. He's been good too.
Chuck Daly.
Yeah, Pops been really good.
Yeah.
Really? Because I was gonna say John Wooden. I was gonna say John Wooden. Like you're gonna say the going to go basketball coach level, even though John Wooden is a college basketball coach.
Okay,
UCLA back.
Fair enough, yeah.
John Wooden was pretty good. But who do you think, John Wooden or Phil Jackson? I'm actually curious to hear your guys' opinion on
Phil
that.
Jackson, only because he taught NBA. He coached NBA, and that's I'm guessing it's got to be harder because it's a whole different game.
True, but John Wooden also produced a lot of NBA. John Wooden also did coach Kareem to his max.
So,
And
but
UCLA.
you got to think about it like this.
That's
It's like
why.
comparing someone like Bill Belichick to Nick Saban if you're talking football, and Nick Saban did terrible in the NFL.
That's true.
Yeah, it's not. He was not great.
So, yeah, I still think Phil and Daly. There's some really good ones.
So based on
Go ahead.
no, based off like all these like throughout this season, who do you think is going to win like Rookie of the Year, Most Improved Player, Defensive Player, MVP?
I think rookie is very clearly Wembanyama.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Most improved could be someone like I'm trying to think who can win Most Improved.
Or maybe it's too early still. I feel like
For that, it might be too early because someone could that's doing well could fall off a cliff, and someone that isn't doing well could pop off near the end of the season or the latter a second half or whatever, But MVP, I think Giannis looks really good. Jokic looks really good. Embiid looks pretty good too.
Edwards. He's really piqued my interest. Like Anthony Edwards.
Anthony Edwards, dude, yeah I like him. I remember liking him last year, and I really liked him during the FIBA World Cup too.
Yeah.
Okay. Depending on how I just had this thought. So depending on how the Olympics are gonna go for the new supposedly dream team, if they pull numbers like no other, I'm curious to see how that dream team will be against the original dream team.
The 92 dream team?
Like the original 92 dream team.
This we're talking about Paris, right?
Yeah.
Or Paris. Okay, then. So let me see if they released the roster for Paris yet.
They haven't, because they haven't done a lot, but it's pretty obvious that there are people that have said, yeah, I want to play, like LeBron, Jason Tatum, not Dylan Brooks, Devin Booker. I always get the names mixed up all the time. But
KD,
Devin Booker, AD, Joel Embiid's gonna play for Team USA. That's what he said.
I think KD said he's gonna be playing.
Is he allowed to?
We don't even know. The 5 spot could either be AD or Joel Embiid. That's crazy.
We should
AD or KD?
KD.
AD.
KD.
Kevin Durant.
I don't know if AD is. I don't know if AD is.
Yeah,
I don't know if AD has said he might do it, but I mean they wouldn't even really need him because he would definitely probably be a backup. As good as he is, Joel Embiid is Joel Embiid. So
yeah,
I mean
a little bit more consistent, but.
I mean, to have AD at the 4 and then Joel Embiid at the 5, and then LeBron at the 3, and then Curry at the 1.
And then who would be at the 2? Because then Jason Tatum's going to be on the bench.
Ugh.
You could probably put him at the 2.
LeBron?
Yeah, he can play.
Tatum.
Or you can put Braun at the 2 as well. LeBron can play any of the positions as well. He's historically been one of the only people to put at all 5 positions for starting 5. There's a couple starting lineups where he's the center.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I didn't know about
that. We should win the gold medal for basketball. If we somehow don't, there's a problem.
If we don't, it just shows that the world has evolved basketball-wise, more than we thought. Because I still think that if we bring it with this team, we're going to dominate. This is too good of a team,
Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
But we won't know until it happens.
Nas Reed, I think we win. Nas Reed, the GOAT.
Mm-hmm. Kind of switching tracks here in sports. I just want to mention in boxing there was a huge win, and I kind of want to keep an eye out for this guy called Brandon Grotch from Australia. Dude got a 30-second knockout against his undefeated opponent. 30-second knockout first round against an undefeated against Liam Tilavia. So I think this guy Brandon Grotch.
Paying for that, and then you see that, and you're like, oh damn.
It's better than F1.
That wasn't the main fight. That's true, better than F1, which we'll talk about a little bit later. But the kicker on that fight card title, that wasn't the main fight. It's like that was like I believe
Damn.
the preliminary fight for until the main card event came on. But
Okay. At least it wasn't the main card, but still, I mean, like, hey.
Yeah. But hey, but I think this guy, because he's a heavyweight, he's fighting the heavyweight division, right? I think this dude will be getting a lot of press, and he's fighting out of Australia. So hopefully he might be getting good contenders out of that country, and hopefully you can see him like go international because he did fight pretty good. It's a 30-second knockout first round. That's kind of impossible to pull off. He's an undefeated
He
champion.
was just dogging on him.
I know, right? I just wanted to give a shout out for that. But yeah, keep your guys' heads and ears out for Brent Gaunt.
What was the main card of that fight, out of curiosity?
The main card was Nikita Tuzu versus Dylan Biggs.
I think I've heard of Dylan Biggs. It sounds familiar.
Yeah, Australia. It was an Australian card fight, so hopefully we can see some WBC fights coming up soon. And we see some like heavy hitters coming out I think this guy Brent Gaunt might be the next face of heavyweight boxing. Sure.
Interesting. I mean, isn't the current kind of guy is the current champion still what's his name? Tyson Fury for heavyweight?
For heavyweight, current heavyweight champion for boxing. I don't think that we have one right now, but it is Tyson Fury. I would say so. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Tyson Fury,
you know what's kind of crazy is that Francis Ngannou almost took the heavyweight title because he was arguably robbed of that fight. If I'm being real,
I feel man, Francis. I'm telling you, Francis Ngannou was more of a boxer than he was an MMA fighter. Because when you look at him in the UFC, he's a pure striker. You don't want to get hit by Francis Ngannou's like strikes, man.
I think you mentioned last time that he's in your opinion, the greatest of all time, right?
In my opinion, he is. Like, I think he is. Like, I think he's one of the best UFC fighters. But I'm just like, well, I'm biased to say that because I think I prefer striking over kicking. Like, that's what I prefer. And he has the best strike in the see. But I can see people saying for John Jones and stuff like that. Well, John Jones.
I think John Jones is still the best, even though he's a terrible person. He's such a bad person, but he's a
oh yeah, he is. I'll tell you this. I hate
my brother Sean about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you this. I hate when people say Conor McGregor is the GOAT of UFC. I don't really think so.
He's like the mascot of the UFC.
He is the mascot. He's like the Mickey Mouse of UFC. Sounds weird to say, but like he is not. There's like way more fighters out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, like, I think Francis Ngannou did set the world record for the world's deadly punch. I think it's like almost getting hit by like a Ford F-150 almost.
Oh my gosh!
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, he has the world record for the most powerful punch in the world.
I don't know what's worse, but like hardest punch or hardest slap. I've seen the slap competitions, but I don't know, man.
Bro.
Wait,
slap fights,
but I think it depends on where you're. It depends on where you're like hitting though, which part of the body's taking the impact. You know.
That is true. That is true.
If it's a slap, it's more open, so I don't think most skin will break. But if it's a punch, you run the risk
your
of
punch you're getting hit with like there's less skin protection on your knuckles and like where you're getting punched on the fist versus a slap where it's like just a lot of skin and flesh versus a bone, you know, like right here. It's like.
But like I know, like obviously there's no like slap competition like on the body, right? So like if someone like did a full slap like on the rib cage, it's not gonna like be it's not. This is nothing like serious, but like if it was a punch, like that rib is gonna be gone. Like it can puncture a lung and stuff, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. But I think punches are worse than slaps for sure.
That is true. That is very, very true. Oh man.
So how was the F1? How's that?
Oh man.
F1. Vegas, right? Vegas. Like
I hear they drive rather fast. Is this true?
One of our members, Diego Diaz, was actually there. He was actually there for the practice run, and when I asked him about it, he just shook his head out of like major disappointment, just majorly disappointed.
Yeah, 'cause- Yeah, because
What's
I
his
heard
team?
it was late at night and all that stuff, so you couldn't do anything.
I
It
mean,
Yeah,
the
it's on the
really was.
strip.
I mean, it's
yeah,
I was
Vegas. It's
right.
Vegas though. So, like in Vegas,
Yeah,
you're doing and late at night. Doesn't mean anything. It could be like 4 a.m. and there's still stuff to do in Vegas.
that's Sin
Yep.
City, right?
mm-hmm.
But I think
Yeah,
it
dude.
was Red Bull that won the race, right? Team Red Bull.
Yeah, I believe Team Red Bull won it.
Yeah. I just remember because like my dad's like a big F1 fan, and like and more specifically, my dad's a big Lewis Hamilton fan.
Yeah,
Just
Red
keeping my
He's the
Bull.
eyes
goat.
on Lewis Hamilton, but I think he did not perform that well, or he like came like in top 10, I think. But Red Bull was the biggest
Yeah,
take
Red
home
Bull won.
into them.
Then
But yeah,
then that big old thing with Ferrari suing. No, it was the ticket goers suing F1. You hear about
oh
that?
really?
Yeah,
Why?
it's because
No. What-
oh, let me pull it up.
So
There
like
was
I
like a
think like well, one fan filed a lawsuit against the Vegas Grand Prix. You talking about that?
yeah.
Or
Let me find it in my
Because they went
stuff.
all around the strip, right? Like I think the furthest point they went to was up talking north on the strip. I think the furthest point was Treasure Island. The southern port was probably like Planet Hollywood, or may have gotten flipped.
Hold on, I gotta pull it up.
Dude, I'm trying to go through my Vegas geography here.
Dude, it's been so long
When you
since I've
first
even
enter
been to
Vegas,
Vegas, dude. Like,
I feel you, man. No, when you first enter Vegas, the first resort you see is Mandalay Bay. Or no, it's Luxor, Luxor slash Mandalay Bay.
It's Mandalay Bay.
Then you go to Excalibur. Yeah. So where didn't they start off? So southern point was what? Treasure Island or
South Point.
the
Uh,
race?
are you talking about like the last part of the turn?
Yeah, like where they started off the race.
That I don't know.
Because they were like going like in a weird circle. Look at this.
It might be by the
It's Mandalay
sphere.
Bay. That's true. Let me look it up here.
So I pulled up the thing from I forgot where. I think it might be an ESPN. But
Mhm.
the headline was Las Vegas GP was hit with a lawsuit after practice delays. The troubled Las Vegas Formula One Grand Prix has been hit with the class action lawsuit on behalf of the 35,000 people who bought tickets for Thursday's practice session. It was canceled when Carlos, I'm not going to say his last name, Ferrari was damaged by a loose drain cover. And this was on November 18th.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because like
I
it
think the
basically.
cars were going so fast, some of the manhole covers came off and like hit people and stuff like that, right? Yeah.
But it damaged
Right.
Ferrari's car that basically it was just a lot to repair, and basically it was just bad. It was really bad.
Yeah.
That's going to cost a pretty penny.
Man, I mean, it's funny because Vegas residents even said that it wasn't a surprise to them because of how their streets are.
Yeah, the streets are pretty like are they narrow or
probably,
something?
they're probably just shocked at the fact that there's like so little cars on the street. You know, 'cause it's always so
To be
much traffic.
fair, that's true. But to be fair, they were racing in the like they were racing on the strip, obviously. They're not like racing like in the city or like at Vegas or like the suburbs of Vegas, you know what I mean? But so like it's pretty condensed, so there's a lot of like shit going down on the strip. So
Yeah, there's always stuff
kind
going
of like
on. So I mean, is it like
strips. It's like having F1 in LA, but like having it like going down on like Sunset and Hollywood instead of like
yeah,
somewhere
like
like I don't
just
know.
ETLA? You know, like
Yeah.
I think
And stuff like going like somewhere in the valley, you know?
Or Long
Going
Beach.
in like the most like Long Beach. That's true. F1 does take place in Long Beach for a little while, doesn't
Mhm.
it? Like back in the day.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
I
would do it
remember.
right by the
I know.
aquarium.
Hey,
oh, the aquarium in
that's
the
not that
Pacific.
bad. Yeah.
Unrelated to
But
sports, but I remember one time I went to the aquarium of the Civic and we had to evacuate because there was like a bomb threat or something like that.
I'm sorry you had to go through that. But I mean, at least you got a good story out of it.
Yeah, I was getting chicken tenders from their cafeteria. Then we had to
Oh
leave.
my
I couldn't
god.
get my chicken, bro. That was
Did you get your chicken tenders though?
no.
Did you get any? Oh,
Was it
Get
from
your
that
chicken
restaurant that was
tenders.
up above? That's like it's like a cafe. It's like a scuba cafe or something like that.
Something like
is
that.
it
It's been
Bubba
so long.
Gum? I know there's a
That was
Bubba
that was the
Gum. I
one
know Bubba.
that was the one time I went there. So it's like I don't know if, like what else is there.
There's a Bubba Gum right by Long Beach, by Aquarium of the Pacific.
Mm-hmm.
I know that.
Yeah.
And the only reason I know that is because I really hate Bubba Gum restaurants. And that's the first time I saw Bubba Gum, and the first time I ever ate at it was in Hawaii. But yeah, back to F1. Doesn't F1 usually take place in Austin and like when it comes to America?
They take place all around the world. I talk about
Mm-hmm.
just only in the United States when they come here.
Yeah, pretty much in the United States. When it comes to the US, I think isn't it Austin that's the main hub for F1? Or am I
It
tripping?
might be. It might be. I
Look at this.
it doesn't because normally it always takes place in Europe, but mostly it might be in Italy. Because I know
Italy.
because Cars 2 always depictions that.
Mhm. So yeah, so when I looked it up, when it comes to America, it's always F1 is typically always like in Austin.
Hmm.
But I remember like also like F1 also taking place like in Miami, or it is going to take place in Miami, which is going to be quite concerning. I'm not going to lie. The Miami Grand Prix, because Miami roads, those are like one of the worst roads you can ever drive on.
It's because
Water just
Miami
erupts
just
from the street.
it's always sinking. That's why.
Well, yeah, I mean, okay, on top of like global warming and like that stuff, like this, like the city planning for Miami is so bad. Like the streets are so narrow. It's like the course is so convoluted. Like sometimes you'll just be stuck in traffic
I
because
don't know
like
why they built a
seawater.
city there. It was not a good place to build a city. It was not even like because a lot of it is just like on high tides. It's not good.
I
I
mean,
don't
look
know.
at
And
New
especially
Orleans as
for
well.
yeah, like imagine hosting
New
a
Orleans.
race in New Orleans. Like I couldn't.
Well, especially with the Gulf.
Man, the
Gulf.
insurance for that
God.
the insurance for that city has to go through the roof. You're going to host like an F1 race in New Orleans.
I mean, especially with the
You go
Gulf,
in your car, you're like,
rising up to 90 degrees, 100 degrees, the water. Yeah, that's just not.
gonna be a
Yeah,
boat. It's not gonna be. It's gonna be a boat race at one point,
yeah.
I wouldn't doubt
They
it.
got the
like a
GTA thing where
motorboat
they turn
race.
the cars into the boats.
Don't those actually exist? Cars that like turn into boats, like they're
Like
like
amphibious cars. Yeah, they
amphibious.
exist.
Yeah,
Hmm.
Yeah.
amphibious. That might be the next thing in the future. Amphibious cars
Because
go
I,
on the water and land.
cause I know in Hawaii they actually have bus tours that actually go from the land to the water.
Oh, is it like part of the tour, or is it like is it or is it just convenient for the tour to do it?
Yeah, it's convenient for the tour to do it because like I'll see buses like tour buses actually on the streets in Waikiki that will be on they'll be on wheels, but then all of a sudden it's like shaped like a boat, so when they go in the water, they can do it. I mean, the future is there in Hawaii. That's pretty awesome.
True, that's true.
But now I'm
It's
kind
time
of
to get.
I'm really questioning. Maybe I get your guys' opinion too, since F1 was really bad in Vegas as a review. Where do you think the next stop will be if it's not in Austin?
I
In
think,
the
in
United
my
States.
opinion, United States, right?
Yeah.
I think I always think it's going to be Miami for some reason. Or I kind of low key, if it's not going to be in Austin, they might do Long Beach. I think Long Beach is always like a good location for F1 to do it.
Yeah.
But if it's not long, but I know like that's like the bland answer. But in my opinion, I always think it's Miami or possibly maybe Dallas. I think Dallas is going to be a cool one to see.
What about in Tennessee, like Nashville
Tennessee, like Nashville.
or Memphis or something? I feel like because I feel like if you were to go, the city has to have like a ring to it or something. Because like when you said Miami, it has a nice ring to it. Miami, like F.
Nashville
F1.
could be cool because Nashville has a huge like social hub. So
True. Country music. I'm not really into country music, but
Right.
Nashville would be cool. But yeah, but typically when it comes to America, F1 has always been it's always been Austin, Miami, and Long Beach. But if we're talking about like big names, I would like to see it in New York City. I know it's like heavily impossible, but in theory, New York
it
City
would
would
be
kind of be
if
cool.
they can make it work. It would be fun, but I don't think realistically it
No.
can happen. But
Yeah,
I
no,
like your thing.
that's why I said like in theory, because like there's so much like planning would have to go in place if it's going to be like in New York City, like driving through the
Roads would be
different boroughs.
crazy with all the
It-
taxis and all that stuff.
yeah, that's why they have to literally clear up the whole street.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm walking here.
Hey, I dropped my coffee.
Oh my god.
The driver stopping for a bacon egg or cheese sandwich.
Hey, okay, can I get a bacon, egg, and
Oh,
cheese? The F1 way.
the Aki way. No, let me get the Aki way.
Oh my god.
F1 way.
Man, New York is wild.
Dude, honestly, I feel like it wouldn't be. It just go through the roof. At the same time, I don't feel like it would do well there. Like realistically, I feel like it won't do well
I
there.
think
But
with Boston,
minus all the cars and the taxis and everything, and minus the people,
Yeah.
I don't feel like it would be very
It wouldn't be
successful.
safe.
Yeah,
It
that
wouldn't be
too.
safe either.
Really? How about San Francisco, the city of San Francisco with like all the hills? I know like that might damage like the cars and everything, but you think it'll be successful in the Bay Area?
it'd be like the first mission in Sonic Adventure 2, dude.
I mean, it'd be cool because
That's
like
callback.
the route can start in Frisco, and make its way
Yeah.
across the Golden Gate, make its way a little bit through
Napa.
Sonoma. Like it can go through Sonoma, it could curve around, take a bridge over back to where Oakland is, and then take the Oakland Bridge and come
Okay.
back to Frisco.
That's
That would
true.
be kind of. I mean, the issue is I know like some of the drivers are complaining about a lot of the turns that happened in this Vegas race. So I wonder how much that would be a problem in someone like San Francisco. So
Put them on
to have
Lombardi
it
Street.
kind of- have like a that would.
Put them on Lombardi Street. They're gonna have no idea what's going on. They're
yeah.
gonna be swerving. At one point, I should see a driver just clear a whole of Lombardi Street.
Oh my
No.
god.
That's like
If it goes fast enough, you can just clear it in the air.
That's like a 12. It's going to be. It's almost like seeing like a 12-year-old play GTA
Oh my god.
driving.
That is very true.
No
Or
idea
like
where they're
Arvin
going.
playing GTA.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but if you want to have fun with it, I think I think that still can be a fun one because of all the turns and the hills and
Mhm.
like how weird the city is. But in America, what else like cities do you place in America for F1?
I tell you a place that I don't think it would do well is Boston.
Boston.
Boston's too
Oh,
crowded.
Boston
The streets are too
traffic,
old.
man.
The streets are too old. It's because it's an old city. Or Philadelphia, same thing. I don't think it would work. Streets
Not
just-
I don't think
LA,
East Coast.
because LA is just like if you were to do it in downtown LA, it's just
Oh no.
because you got all
It's
the
gonna be a whole lot of
homeless.
honking. Move!
Wait, well, I mean, when we say LA, are we talking about like the city of Los Angeles, or are we talking about like LA County, like the Valley,
Like the city
and,
of Los Angeles, kind of like how we were depicting like the
Okay.
like Manhattan, New York. It's kind of like that.
So we're talking
Chicago,
like
Okay.
deep downtown.
Okay, gotcha. So like Santa Monica and like okay, gotcha.
yeah.
Chicago will kind of be cool because like I don't know, like do you think if they did it in Chicago, it would be during like the winter or during the summer?
Definitely during the summer, because of the winter, it's super
Too cold.
dangerous.
Machines don't do well. Machines don't do
Okay,
well
yeah.
when it's that cold, you know.
I heard stories
And it's-
through my relatives that did live in Chicago, that did and do live in Chicago. It's not a very fun time over there, especially during the winter time.
Just driving wise, or just like in
Driving
general?
wise, because like if you were to
Oh damn.
If you were to get ready for the race at like 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning, and it's a -2 degrees or -13, you have to deal with all that ice, and it's just and deal with the roads, the conditions. It's just
Slippery.
it just sounds like a recipe for disaster at that point. And if you're driving like 100 miles an hour, 120 miles an hour, you got to brake for that turn.
Mm-hmm.
That car's gonna skid. It's not gonna be a fun time.
That's true. That's true. Like I heard like people that like live in snowy areas, they have to like trick out their car to like accommodate for snow, so they get like special
Yeah.
tires
No tires.
heating apparatuses and stuff like that. But yeah, I think
Yeah.
another city for F1 that would be cool. Probably hate this saying this, but possibly Seattle.
I like
Yeah,
that
you're like
idea
an
though.
anti-Seattle. You're an anti-Seattle like
I
enthusiast.
really don't like Seattle.
Only problem with Seattle's the rain. Like there's bad days where it can rain, so like
Oh,
you gotta do that in the summer
Yeah,
or
just anytime it's not, it's
summer,
I guess
fall.
that's true. I
maybe
don't know.
not fall. I don't know about fall because it's too close to winter.
Oh yeah,
Like
then
it
I don't
gets
summer
know.
will
rain.
be better.
Probably because I'm thinking of like in football hell, because like weather games in football are the most fun to watch and play in.
Yeah, but when you're dealing
Snow
with
games and
motor
rain games
vehicles, it's a
are
little
really
different,
cool.
you know.
I don't think
Yeah.
the drivers are like up for it. Maybe Hawaii. I would say Hawaii sounds kind of cool.
I was gonna say
Maybe
That would
Oahu.
be sick.
Maybe
Honolulu. I
Yeah,
think Honolulu would be a cool one.
Honolulu would be sick. Yeah.
Yeah,
Waikiki,
Honolulu race.
because like
Waikiki, yeah,
Waikiki.
because the
Waikiki's
roads are
one.
straight. They're literally straight, so it's perfect. And you
That's
could do
true,
the
that's
roundabout.
true.
You can basically drive around, go over a bridge, and you could just basically go drive around. It's like a perfect course, and the turns are perfect.
It's like a legit city, so it's definitely
Yeah.
doable.
Honolulu. A lot of people compare Honolulu to LA, though. I heard, like in city planning wise.
Like downtown Honolulu, yeah, it's kind of pretty rugged. Like there's like spots
Yeah.
where it's like homeless. Like there's like an old clothing shop, a warehouse that basically they turned into a homeless shelter. So it's kind of like
Oh damn.
it's kind of sad because you see the actual logo of the company there. Like there used to be tours that come from the hotel in downtown. I think it's like Hilton Hawaiian Village. Like if you were to take the
Okay.
shuttle there, they would take you to the warehouse, and it was just like a giant warehouse of like clothing and stuff. Now it's just like the logo's still there, but it's all, from what I heard, it's just they just have the homeless there. So
See, they have
Oh,
that.
damn. That's sad
They
to
also
hear,
have
man.
they also have the hot malasadas, so it's like those are pretty sick.
they're
true.
delicious.
But when you think from a
They're delicious.
I love hot malasadas, dude. I've had them since when I went to Oahu years ago.
But
Alrighty.
from a business standpoint, I think F1 in Hawaii will actually be beneficial because, like, Hawaii is tourism, obviously, because they'll be able to raise money for the fires and everything.
Yes.
If F1 does come to the international
True,
market,
true.
obviously. I think it's like a win-win situation for everybody involved. But I'm still locking in.
Maybe not for the native Hawaiian population, but for the economically, like
Economically,
for the
it's a
state
win-win.
and for F1, it would be mutually beneficial for sure.
They actually just announced where the next F1 race will be.
Where's it gonna be?
Oh, where?
And on Sunday, November 26th, it's gonna be in Dubai, I think.
Wow.
Oh,
That's not
that's
Abu-
actually kind of.
Abu Dhabi, Abu Dhabi. Yeah, be awesome.
Are they like racing on the? Are they racing on the perimeter of the city or going through the actual city? Oh, it's
I
Abu.
think
Wait, is it Abu Dhabi or Dubai?
Abu Dhabi.
Well,
Oh,
it's
okay.
two different
Never mind
cities.
then.
Both
Yeah,
are in the UAE though.
Yeah.
but man, my lock-in for F1, I want to see it in San Francisco, seeing going over those hills and those
Yeah,
Lombardi
the one
Street and
that
everything.
Kyle proposed sounds sick. I'm not gonna lie.
Because I'm like,
Awesome.
I'm looking at it right
The
now.
Golden Prairie.
I'm like looking at it right now. Like literally, you can start at the Golden Gate Park, make your way there because I've driven that. You just go over the Golden Gate Bridge, past Marin City, past Strawberry, go to San Rafael, make a right, and then pass over the bridge, go to Richmond, drive down through Berkeley, go to Oakland, and make a right, another right, and take the Oakland Bridge to back to Frisco, and then you drive over the bumps and stuff over there.
That would be fun. I don't know. Especially, I want to see like that. I don't know. Like F1 always has like cool drone shots. I don't know if you guys saw the drone shots they were doing for Vegas, but they were really clean. I would like to see a good drone shot in F1 going over against the Golden Gate Bridge.
Oh man.
Also at F1, they actually they announced the schedule for 2024 actually.
Oh really?
Yeah, like
Oh, any US? There's
US
Vegas coming up.
US will be like in October of next year.
Oh, what's the location at?
It
They
didn't
released
say
that?
yet. Oh no,
Most
but
likely going to be Miami.
it could be. Also, there's some in like Japan. Oh, Miami actually is one of them.
Well,
Makes me
Miami's always there for F1.
um Monaco, Canada. Yeah, interesting stuff. We'll see how that works out.
We shall see.
All right.
But speaking of one last thing, I know that I want to bring up is that what was it? It was the PGA Tour, the one of the for the I forgot something ferry tour. They're making their one of their last stops out here in Valencia. It's like basically a
Oh,
make it or break it, make it or break it
Are
deal.
they at Vista Valencia?
It's gonna be at the Valencia Country Club
I was gonna
next.
say Vista Valencia golf courses are right across the street from my house. So
Let's see. I'm pulling it up right now. It's because one of the guys were since you brought Josh brought up the thing about Hawaii and the fires. There's a golfer that's coming out here. And he's gonna be he's doing the tour to do stuff for Hawaii, pretty much.
So he's doing like a charity, like a what do you call it? A charity
In a
charity
way,
donation if he like wins.
yeah. Like
Wins
he,
or he's like and he's like raising money for like the raising money for the state of Hawaii as well as like playing in tournament.
mm-hmm. His name is Alex Carrera. The note says who is from Hawaii and put in solid fundraising effort this season after the wildfires in Maui. So he's like doing stuff for the for Maui. So I was like, that's crazy, dude.
yeah.
Oh, wow! Huge shout out to him. The good work.
Hopefully, because I'm trying to look up the name. Oh, Corn Ferry Tour. So basically, this is the second rank just before to have a PGA tour card. So this basically is this stage for them is the make it or break it, the final leg of the tour. So if they win, whoever the top 5 people are, I believe they basically play in the PGA Tour, have a card to play for the PGA Tour.
Okay, that's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm. And it's cool that it's a local area around here in California and Santa Clarita.
yeah. So Valencia Country Club, that'd be so funny if it was Vista Valencia golf courses. I'd walk right outside my house and I'd see it right there.
You still can, Max. You
Isn't
still
that
can.
the area?
It's not too far. It's like right by Matcher Mountain Parkway, right by like the UCLA USC medical buildings.
Yeah. I'm not a big golf guy, so I mean, as cool as that would be, you know.
I mean, I used to work at a golf course, so.
Did you?
Oh, yeah.
Were you the guy that drove the cart to pick up all the balls?
No, I wasn't a caddy. My official title was I was the locker room attendant. I worked basically. I just like what I did was my job responsibilities was that shout out to North Ranch Country Club. Basically, I just worked there, making sure that the members' shoes were clean. They were making queue times, baking cookies. I was pretty big on the job, and that's pretty much it.
Nice.
And making sure the member was satisfied. But no, it was just a summer job I had after I graduated high school to keep me occupied.
Nice.
But it was a cool job. I did meet Jamie Foxx and Will Smith.
Before the slap.
Will Smith. Before the slap, he gave me a $20 bill. $20 tip bill. But I didn't get slapped though. So I think we're good on that end.
Keep my $20 bill inside your wallet.
Slap what? Pops an 18-year-old. I don't think that will sit well with people in the media. I also met I forgot to mention also Will Smith was with Jada Pinkett Smith when I saw him.
Should have made the G.I. Jane joke a little earlier, you know? Then you would have gotten slapped by Will Smith, gotten the big lawsuit, made some money, Josh. Living large.
Before he was sent off to college, before he went off to college. But,
yeah, you know what? You're doing okay. You're in medical school.
Bruh.
Nice.
And I spent that $20 tip.
Nice.
Should have spent it on sports gambling.
Oh my god.
Bro, I think I did, honestly. I'm not gonna lie. I think I might have
That's
spent it on.
funny.
I think I might have gambled it away. I think I gambled it on away like on a
People
UFC
call
title
it
card
addiction.
event.
I call it dedication.
It's not gambling if you know you're gonna win.
I mean, hey, 90% of gamblers quit right before they hit it big, so you know.
It's true. Also, gambling is an investment.
Not an addiction.
It's not addiction. It's called dedication, guys. Come on.
There's a difference.
All right, guys. That's all we have for tonight. I'd like to thank our lovely co-host for joining us tonight, Kyle, Arvin, Josh, and then obviously we have myself too. Thank you for listening. We'll see you next time. Make sure you follow our Instagram at Fumble the Bag Pod, and have a good rest of your night.
And have a happy Thanksgiving to everyone that's listening and watching.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Happy
Good
Thanksgiving.
night.
Gobble gobble.
Good night.
Catch you guys later.